Okay, welcome to this part of the lesson where we're going to be looking at question tags in our grammar section. So, basically on the board I've got 4 examples and then I've got my 3 grammar rules that I'm going to use to help me solve the examples that I'm given, because I've got the gap fill which I need to fill in. So, my first grammar rule which I'm given is A, and we usually put a negative question tag after an affirmative sentence. So if we got a positive sentence, we use the negative question tag. We have an affirmative tag after a negative sentence. B, if the main sentence has an auxiliary verb, example gratia, is or can, etc., this is repeated in the question tag. And then C, the last one which I'm given, if the main sentence has no auxiliary, then the question tag is in the form of do. Okay, so just to simplify, I usually put a negative question tag after a positive sentence. If I do have an auxiliary in the form of is or can, etc., then I just repeat in the question tag. And the last one, if the main sentence has no auxiliary, I use do. So, I go to my question number 1 now. You have a best friend, something you. So I need to establish what's going on in the sentence. Okay, first of all, you have a best friend. This is positive. So I know from that one I have to give a negative question tag. Okay, so my negative question tag, I contract, not, I leave out this letter O, and I join this N to the previous auxiliary, or if I use do instead. So I put that one up there first. It's positive, I return negative. That takes care of that one. I now need to establish what's happening. Has it got an auxiliary or doesn't it have an auxiliary? If I look at the sentence again, you have a best friend. So my object is a best friend. I'm not actually doing anything. I'm discussing. There I am, you, so I'm in the second person, is my subject, have a best friend. So we're discussing the relationship, not necessarily doing anything. So in this respect, there is no work being done in the sentence, so I use do, because I've established this is a possession of the relationship. So I need to put that in. That requires, that's the doing part of the sentence. Number 2, you had a best friend at school. So now I've expanded, there's my object in the singular, my best friend. I add the preposition at and the noun school to identify where this has taken place. This also can act as a time frame. Subject is the same. Had. So I'm using had, which is have in the past. Here again, I can use number 1 to help me. I established in this one it was a possession of the friendship between the 2 people, and in this one this is exactly the same. The possession of the relationship. Not actually doing anything. So I need to tell it by using the question tag, this is something we're doing, by being the friends. So, this is acting as a possession. There's no verb there to support. It's not an auxiliary verb. I use do. So that takes care of that one. I just put D up there because I need to remind myself this one is in the present as this one. This presents in the past to give my D form at the end. So I need to do the same with this one. I present this in the past tense. Again, as with the first one, I'm presenting a positive sentence, I give a negative question tag. Didn't you? So I present in the past. Number 3. That's just the way life is, something it. That's just the way life is, something it. So I go back into the question now to break it down. That. So there's my subject, there's my verb, just the way life is, gives me my object. Okay. This is stipulating that this is to be now as well. This one is a contraction, so this, where I've made the words smaller and joined them together, is the same as this one, is. This is it, which makes reference to this one. So I've broken down the sentence. I can now look at what's happening in that one. Okay, that is just the way life is, something it. Because I've got this part working on it, I come down into my rules. I've already discussed this, I've already looked at this. Example given is, this is repeated in the question tag. So I've already taken care of that one. Okay, so that deals with that. So I go back up here. Is there any reference to this part in the first part? I can't find any, so then this is still a positive sentence. I return the opposite to give the negative. So now my completed sentence with question tag, that's just the way life is, isn't it? So I present in the negative there. I move down to my last one now, number 4. You can't keep in touch with everybody, something you. So again, there's my subject. Need to do my work there to find out what's happening. Keep is also my verbal aspect. So my subject, verb, object, and given a preposition in. This is now working as a phrasal verb, keep in touch, which is to maintain contact, which is my verbal phrase there. Then I've got another preposition, the plural, and the object is everybody. So same verb form. This now is supporting this. So I do have an auxiliary. To auxiliary is the support of this one to help support the meaning. So I've got the auxiliary. I've already discussed this previously when I went through my rules, so I know that I'm using can there. I've said repeated. I presented it there. I present it in the question tag at the end. I now need to look at the aspect of what's happening at the end. This is a pronunciation again of putting the two words together to make one word. I've got this one. This is now the negative part, but it's in the form of the sentence, which is here. So I've got the negative sentence running now, so I need to have a positive tag. My negative is working there, so this has to be positive, and that one just stays like that. Okay, so that takes care of your question tags. Very strong general English. This is lovely as well to keep in touch. Nice verb phrase that we use as well. So very strong general English language. We use it every day. If you've got any questions about that, please don't hesitate to get in touch. My website details will come up at the end of this presentation. So that concludes everything for this part of the grammar section. Please get in touch if... Okay, so my contact name is Jim Cooney. My work email is enquiries@reeverseducation.co.uk. My website www.reevers-education.co.uk. Thank you very much. Have a very pleasant day.